WrestleMania 35 will be in East Rutherford. It's being promoted as New York, New Jersey. If you're from the area, you know how much horseshit that is. That promotional shit is for the people not in New York and New Jersey. That's for the Floridians. That's for the Californians. That's for the Texans. The people flying in overseas. That's the pull. But in reality, it's not in New York. It's not near you, New York. For those of you who are not in the New York area, allow me to explain to you the fucking process in which it takes to get to this fucking building. Anywhere you live in New York, it doesn't really fucking matter. What borough you're in, it doesn't matter. You got to take a fucking train to fucking Penn Station, in which point you have to grab a train from there to take you to Secaucus, New Jersey, which I don't know if you can tell by the name of the town. It's a piece of shit. Like, Secaucus is a very appropriate name for this town in New Jersey because it is the shits. It smells like the shits. It looks like the shits. If you live in Secaucus and you're downloading the show, I apologize, but you live in a turd. This is what it is. When we went for WrestleMania 29, okay, there were actually people laughing about this. We took the train to Secaucus because from Secaucus you have to take like this special train that goes like right to the fucking stadium. It's like the last stop. There's no drive through. You take a train that goes straight from Secaucus to the fucking building, and that switch over in Secaucus, we were in the train station and it smelled of absolute ass. There was unadulterated butthole odor in that entire fucking place. I mean, from transfer point, because remember, you're taking the train from Penn Station to Secaucus. So from there, I think from Penn Station to Secaucus, even though it's like a few minutes ride, it's still like, I don't know, 6 or 7 stops, something like that. Somebody will be able to clarify it for me. I could look it up, but I don't care. But as soon as the door opens, like New York's has a scent to it as it is. I'm immune to it because I'm in this motherfucker every day. But it's not exactly the cleanest place to live, right? So you already come from a shit area, and then you take that shit air with you onto the train. And then you take the train to an area that has shittier air. So it's like really bad air, and then it combines with shittier air, and it just makes like shittier squared air. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that mathematically Secaucus is a shitty place, is what I'm trying to say. Luckily, you don't have to be there for very fucking long because, especially for event days, the trains are kind of like, they're free flowing here. You're moving at a pretty good pace. Because it's a building that fits like almost 80,000 fucking people. The fucking trains are packed to the fucking gills, of course. So you take people who probably did not wash all the areas in which they needed to hit. You know, they were literally half-assing the bath. And you get on a train with them, and it becomes... It's a bad time, okay? Because you went from shit air to shittier air, right? Shit air squared. And then you combine it with another... This scent is in, like, parentheses, and it's next to the problem. So you have to figure out the square... Actually, I know. I think the way that it works is you figure out the parenthesis, and then you figure out the square, and then you have to multiply. And what you have is an algebraic expression of shit. That's what you have. Everything here is shitty, and I don't like the trip. Did you get the vibe yet that I don't like the fucking trip to go to this fucking building? The building's awesome, by the way. Building's great. I had a great time in that building. It was awesome. Food was great. Taking a piss was easy because the bathrooms are like the size of mansions. They're huge. There's like 30 or 40 urinals per bathroom, and then there's 40 bathrooms. So that's like 100. There's math involved, more math here, and basically, in essence, there's a ton of places to take a piss and/or shit, whatever your defecating waste management needs are. This building facilitates, so it's really, really good. So I had a fun time. Weather-wise, people bitching, but weather-wise, we had a little bit of a drizzle. A little light mist, if you will, during the Ms. Wade Barrett Intercontinental Championship pre-show matchup. But pretty much from opening pyro to... Actually, no. Did we get... I don't even remember getting pyro. I don't think we got pyro. But opening segment to the main event, I mean, it was crystal clear. Weather was good. I got no complaints, which means that's why I'm going back. I'm going to roll that dice, baby. See what happens. And I'm going to go. And hopefully the family comes with me. And hopefully they can share in the stink. Because I refuse to do this fucking train ride alone. If I am going to suffer, it is only fair that others around me suffer as well. Okay, Secaucus. That's exactly, and you should pronounce it like that. Because on the map, if you're on the train goes, now arriving at Secaucus. No, that's way too tame. They should really get a train lady to say Secaucus, like with the throat. There should be esophagus included in the pronunciation of Secaucus. It is a terrible place. A terrible place. And if you raise children there, you should leave. Or the fucking people who take children should take your children from you. You're an unfit parent. If you're raising your child in Secaucus, shame on you. Seriously. But yeah, WrestleMania 35 will be in New Jersey, East Rutherford, not New York, New Jersey. It's way the fuck over there. Okay? Truthfully, for those of you who don't live in New York, whenever they run events in Brooklyn, they're not running events in New York. Side note, I don't know if you guys know that. When they say we're going to be, you notice when they advertise the Barclays Center, they don't say New York or New York City. They say Brooklyn. Because I don't know if you guys know, but here in New York City is Manhattan. Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, that other place up top that I don't like talking about, that's not New York City. Yes, we connect, and yes, we kind of consider it all the same thing, but on paper it's not, so it can't be advertised the same. So when I say New York, New Jersey, they're really, really wrong. Like I was looking this up. WrestleMania is going to be at MetLife, but Raw, SmackDown, NXT Takeover, the Hall of Fame, all that good shit's going to be at the Barclay. And like I just said, that's in Brooklyn, not New York. So regardless of how you shape this out, all of the information concerning anything revolving WrestleMania being New York is not only false advertisement, but it is completely 100% bullshit and incorrect. So just keep that shit in mind. If you're planning on going to WrestleMania for a trip, if you're coming from overseas or cross country, don't look for hotels in New York. You have to get a hotel in Northern Jersey. I'm sorry, that's the only way to do it. If you're trying to get the hotel in New York so that you can do the whole tourist thing, tour New York and then go head over to Brooklyn and watch the shows or take the train into New Jersey for WrestleMania, just remember the story I just told you. Shitty air squared. Algebraic expressions of shit. That is what you are in store for. Okay? It's like wiping your ass and using the fumes for chloroform over your mouth. And it stops you from breathing. And honestly, it stops you from wanting to live. That's what it does. When I left MetLife to go back to New York. Now remember, it's like 11 o'clock at night or like 12 o'clock at night. So the trains are running a lot less frequent. So you got a lot more ass air, if you will, okay, than any human should be exposed to. So just keep that shit in mind, all right? Get your hotels in New Jersey. Take the New Jersey Transit. It's not the most dependable train or bus system, but it's going to get you to where you need to go with about as minimal amount of ass as you can possibly get. All right?